The Boston Celtics are an interesting team in the East. They are just coming off an Eastern Conference Finals appearance led by Jason Tatum. In the draft, they took a 3-and-D guy in Aaron Nesmith who can work off ball for this team and adds more shooting and defense. Also gives this team more offense off the bench, which is a good thing, something the team looked to focus on, which was building their bench. They also took point guard Peyton Pritchard, maybe a third string point guard on this team, who's looked to come in and give this team shooting and also another playmaker off the bench. Crafty point guard, so I'd imagine he gets some minutes on this team next season. Someone who can play behind and learn from Kemba Walker and Jeff Teague. They drafted another point guard in the second round, Yam Madar, but he is a draft and stash guy, so we won't see him until a few years down the road. Solid draft for them. They built on their bench and got more shooting, and they just built on their guard spot. A need for this team was looking to upgrade a big. Daniel Theis would be a perfect backup big, and the Celtics went out and got Tristan Thompson. Solid starter, double-double guy, going to fight for rebounds, good finisher inside, can be a switchable defensive guy, he's capable of it, and they got him for $19 million for 2 years, so this is going to be their starting center, which is solid, and they didn't overpay for him, and I feel it's an upgrade over Theis. Not a big upgrade, but still an upgrade at the center spot. They brought in Jeff Teague, veteran guard, to be the main backup point guard after Brad Wanamaker left, and Teague can come in and give this team more playmaking, but I don't know what more Teague has left in his tank. He has regressed through the past few seasons, but he can still be a serviceable point guard, but I don't think he is a difference maker, a huge difference maker over Brad Wanamaker. Teague is getting older, but he is still a guy who can come in, facilitate off the bench and score, but not a good defender, can run hot and cold at times. Did battle some injuries over the years, so that also plays a factor. Then the team signed Taco Fall, signed a 2-way contract for this team. They did lose Gordon Hayward, who was their fourth man, and it kind of was a slap in the face for the Celtics team because he was that good fourth option for them, who could be an all-around guy and play defense, but there were injury concerns for him. In exchange for Hayward, the Celtics got a ridiculous $28.5 million trade exception, according to ESPN. I've never seen anything like it, and they also traded away 2 future second rounders for it along with Hayward. And this trade exception is said to be the largest in NBA history. The Celtics bench, they built on it, but it's not eye-popping. But I do expect Grant Williams, Semi Ojeleye, Robert Williams, Daniel Theis to help out the bench, but it's not special. This trade exception does, however, make things interesting and gives the Celtics options to boost their team if they do use it. And I'd imagine they will jump on it. Kind of impossible they don't use it. And if they don't use it, I'll be extremely surprised. But the Celtics running a starting lineup will probably be Kemba, Smart, Brown, Tatum, and Thompson. This huge trade exception, you can use this to possibly go out and get a guy for the bench or get a shooting guard and have Smart come off the bench. Whether the Celtics successfully use it is still up in the air, but it's impossible to not use it or try to use it. And this is a team fighting to get to the NBA Finals and compete for a championship. Their biggest need was an upgrade on the center spot and building on their roster depth. They did address the center spot, the bench still some question marks, it can be better, and that's where I'd imagine the trade exception comes in for them and they can make a big trade there. The Celtics are a team that has a good core, a growing superstar in Jason Tatum, all-star level players in Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, and a reliable role player in Marcus Smart. Gordon Hayward leaving does make them lose another option, and it's always good to have options, but they did get to the conference finals without him, beating a tough Raptors team in 7 games, but did end up losing to the Heat. I think the Celtics will operate fine just without Gordon Hayward, and we'll see how the team progresses there. This team also has some question marks with, can a Robert Williams step up next season? Are we going to see Carson Edwards, Romeo Langford start, see some minutes next season? This team also has to stay healthy. Any hit on their main core guys, and that makes things even difficult for this team to compete. The Celtics just came off a conference finals appearance, so they are in the right direction with their core, but they mostly stayed the same. While the Brooklyn Nets got healthy, the Bucks retooled their roster, the Miami Heat still are a factor, the 76ers are also building their roster as well. This is essentially the same team with a small upgrade at the center spot, new backup point guard, and a rotational 3-and-D rookie. Plus they can add more on the team with a trade exception. The Celtics still have a growing young core who can take another leap next season, and they were able to build on their center position. They did fine in the offseason, but they still need to add 1 or 2 more pieces to strengthen that bench.